What was the weirdest thing the weird kid did at school? A wild kid activated a fire hose and started blasting everyone that came his way. Students, teachers, didn't matter. One of my old students did that. It was hilarious. Obviously I had to pretend not to find it amusing, but it was great. This makes me wonder how many teachers find things just as funny as students do, but can't show it due to school rules. Like some of the crap kids do is genuinely hilarious, and not finding it so seems strange. My partner's a teacher. They all find a lot of things hilarious. They also pretend not to know how things like memes, TikTok or Snapchat work because it winds the kids up. My friend does this with her son. You still playing that game? What's it called? Fork knife? Her latest wind-up is thinking the clock app is TikTok. The kids fall for it every time. What makes it extra funny is that her meme game is actually really strong, but all the kids think she has no idea how any of it works. You kids heard of this new game, Flappy Bird? She wrote a list of all the girls and boys she wanted to kiss and murder and then casually passed it out on the playground. 2 separate lists or just the one? Same list, 2 columns, laughing out loud. Weird kid in elementary was a self-proclaimed alien. Once, while waiting for the bus, she told me on my planet we eat people like you and proceeded to bite me. We later became friends in high school and she used to give me massages during lunch break in the quad. Just realized now she was likely tenderizing me. How good were the massages though? Worth the risk, for sure. They took the edge off from algebra too. That's some risk-reward ratio right there. As one of the previously weird alien girls, I apologize. We just wanted to be from anywhere but our family and this planet. He drove around the basketball courts, following the lines, on an imaginary bus. He'd stop to let people get on/off the bus and then drive them to their stops, and we walked in a line behind him. When he stopped walking, he'd mimic the door opening and closing and wouldn't let you on/off if you didn't wait for the signal. Salutations, Ben the bus driver. I hope you achieved your dreams. Sounds like that one game in a gym where it was tagged but you could only follow the painted lines. We had an unofficial Harry Potter fan club in high school and Deathly Hallows had just been released. Someone started this whole gossip/rumor that Harry dies at the end, which he actually does, but of course a lot goes on after that which the fan club didn't know about. One of the girls heard about it and tried to commit suicide by throwing herself off the 3rd-story building. We all saw it and 2 of the male teachers had to get her off the window while she was screaming, "If Harry is dead, I have no purpose." Needless to say, she got suspended and the club was disbanded. Edit. Wow. I didn't expect this much of response. To answer some, this isn't in US and it was a convent all-girls school. Bring a toaster and make tuna melts in computer class. In 1st grade, there was this kid who stood by the sink in the back of the classroom eating bits of those brown paper towels. The teacher was constantly telling him to stop eating them and go back to his seat. In 1st grade, I used to eat that gray paper they give you in math class. Not white-lined paper, it's too slick. Just the gray kind, which I think is recycled and breaks down when you chew it. I was only 5, so I didn't understand that it isn't good for you. The compulsion was too strong to resist. Turned out that a lot of small children eat stuff like that when they are iron deficient anemic. Once my doctor put me on iron pills, I stopped wanting the paper. There was a kid who used to eat erasers and growl at other kids. I feel like every school had a growler. Growler is interchangeable with girl who keeps to herself but hisses at people. He didn't say much, but if asked, he would go to the front of the class and perform Tiptoe Through the Tulips with all of the emotion and volume of Tiny Tim, holding nothing back. Now he is on Broadway. The last I heard, he became an energy trader, made a ton of money and married well. Crap, I'd tiptoe through tulips as well if that was the end of my story. Impressively imitated the barking of a dog. Really sounded like a dog with a deep, fierce bark, not like a middle school student. One of the girls I was in treatment could do this amazingly. She could do high barks, low barks, anything. She could make it so you wake up to a dog fight and it's just her. The weird kid in my school, who was also a friend of mine, had really bad dry scalp during the winter months. He would vigorously rub his hair to get some relief from the itchiness, and in the process would end up with lots of dead skin on his desk. One girl looked over as he was doing this and loudly said, "You." And he, wanting to make a statement, gathered up all the dead skin in a line-shaped pile and snorted it like it was a massive line of cocaine. He was kicked out of class. What a effing power play. In for a penny, in for a pound. I thought for sure he was going to dump it on the girl. This is the best and worst thing I have ever read. This was in 96-97. We had a bomb threat and all had to go to the football stadium. One of the special ed kids that had down started the Macarena and had the entire school going, and then this one kid that dressed weird ran out on the field with his friend in front of everyone and they started kissing. This was 96-97, so it started a huge mess. People were trying to beat him up and the administrators had to take them away. Meanwhile, there were still some people trying to keep the Macarena alive. Was a strange day. Edit date had wrong date. Was my freshman year. Link for proof. Email number 4. Web link. Imagine calling in a bomb threat and in response everyone gathers and does the Macarena. That's just life, Jimbo. You know how there's horse girls? This girl was obsessed with babies. Like being a mom or even acting like a baby. I already knew her as the weird girl. Then I got paired up with her for a semester as lab partners. Let me tell you, she was so much weirder than I thought. Constant questions about if I wanted to be a mom too and my body. She always had a pacifier with her, and would constantly chew or suck on it. She would switch between mommy days and baby days. Like one day she would come in and act like a mother. Talk about her baby in extreme detail. Other days she would come in and just baby talk. It was so cringy. Things got significantly worse when she found out I was a babysitter. After that, she became obsessed with me. Said absolutely nothing to anyone besides "I like cows" for about a month. Anything you said to him, regardless of the context or situation. "I like cows." My old art teacher told our class a bunch of stories about weird things kids did in her class through the years before she retired. Before she worked at our school, she worked as an English teacher at the juvenile court school. All of the kids there had issues, but there was this one kid who really stuck out to her. She was assigned to teach him, but the catch was that he had to be in solitary in order to be taught. She was also told that he needed to be watched at all times because he always tried to escape class, and usually was successful. When she taught him, there was a guard posted at the door, the windows were locked and boarded up, and the door was kept locked. The only things in the room were his desk, his chair, and her desk, so that he couldn't hide either. Apparently, he was also extremely good at that. The first time she had to teach this kid, they were put in a solitary room, but it had a closet. The kid went missing, and about 3 hours later, they found him taking a nap at the bottom of the closet. They missed him the first time they checked there. Another time she had to teach him, this time the room did not have a closet, or any other visible places he could hide. She left the room for something, probably to go to the bathroom, and when she got back, the kid was gone. The guard was there the whole time, and the room was basically sealed. There was no way he could have gotten out. Once again, there were also no places he could really hide. The school went on a lockdown while they tried to find this kid. About 2 hours pass, and they finally find the kid when he pushes away the paneling on the wall of the classroom and steps out to casually ask if he could go to the bathroom. This kid opened up the goddamn wall and climbed inside to hide, causing no one to be able to find him for hours. Hide and seek extreme. Seems like this kid would be quite useful as a spy or some crap. Meet the spy and then this MF pops out of nowhere. This one kid wore cheap button-down collar shirts to school every day, and he would only ever button the top button and let the shirt billow around him when he walked. He would state that he was convinced by doing this every day it would catch on and he'd start a trend in the school and be popular. He was forever alone on that hill laughing out loud. Did he wear something under the button-down? Asking the real questions. He once asked me to play spies with him. Knowing he didn't play with many people, I said yes. He took me on a mission around the school, before coming to a stop in front of bushes, pulling his pants all the way down and then started peeing in the bushes. At that point, I was out. Okay, so I had a kid at my school, not particularly bad but just annoyed the everything out of me, because I was the only one nice to him. He would follow me everywhere, randomly grab me for no reason, hug me and not give me any personal space. But here comes the worst part. We have school swimming lessons, and you could either get changed in the change rooms or the toilet/showers. Since I'm a shy person, I would always use the showers to get changed. Figures he followed me in there, got dressed outside my door, and just when I was leaving my cubicle, he was just there, dancing naked. I died inside that day. This is giving me strong Fregley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid vibes. I shouldn't laugh. But here I am, laughing. There are two that come to my mind. It just so happens that they were also good friends with each other. The first one I remember chasing girls around the school with his penis out. This was when we were pre-teens. The second guy joined our class when we were early teens, and the two became best friends. One time, the teacher said something to the line of the back table, out. Because they were annoying her, these two effers decided to open the window and throw the table out. Edit, when I say pre-teen, I mean around 8 or 9. In my native language you become a teenager at 11, I sometimes forget that in English it's 13 and up. r/malicious compliance. Reddit link. A kid I grew up with started wearing homemade chainmail to school our freshman year of high school. Every day. For all 4 years. He was always pretty odd, but he was nice enough. Plus we had a few classes together through middle school and we had connected over a shared love of a few video games, so I felt comfortable asking him why he started wearing it all of a sudden. He proceeded to explain the defensive benefits of chainmail versus both sharp and blunt instruments of harm. For like 5 solid minutes. Daggers. Pikes. Hammers. Even how curved blades like katana and falchions would struggle against it. I basically just shrugged and told him makes sense. And we both went to our classes. I don't know what I expected, but I guess it wasn't the basic defensive benefits that armor offers. Armor sounds like a pretty effective way to not get stabbed. I wish I had thought of that in high school. Did you get stabbed in high school? You didn't? I don't think our school is that safe anymore, Dad. A girl was stabbed to death in the 3rd floor bathroom. Dad, well, don't use that bathroom. What are you, an idiot? For Christ's sakes, use some common sense. Kathleen Madigan. Did he wear it on top or did he make some effort to hide it underneath his normal clothes? Edit, hide. I'm imagining him in full gamson and cracking up. When that one crazy kid goes on a stabbing frenzy, Chainmail Kid will be the one laughing at everyone else. At the local goth bar there is a guy who wears a chainmail muscle style shirt. Fantastic dancer. Raw foodist vegan. Very talented for nurse. My aunt had lupus and knew him by name because of how good at putting her IVs in he was. He might be the nicest person I've ever met. He never drank when I was still going to goth night, and he would fill his truck with people at the end of the night and drop everyone off. He lost a friend to drunk driving, and I expect that's why he was so amazing about taking people home. It makes me really happy to think that people like this exist. To be honest, I would have done the same if I had a homemade chainmail. When the teacher told him to sit down he screamed "F you cow." Fast forward 2 years he tells everyone he's a vampire and stabs my friend with a pen to try to make him bleed. He was weird like. Sounds like your friend could have used some chainmail. I hear it's great for all sorts of blunt and sharp objects. In 4th grade, one kid got so angry at something, maybe the work we were doing, he gripped his pencil as hard as he could, started yelling/moaning, and stuck the sharp end of the pencil square into his forehead. What too much math does to a MF. Spoke Elvish. On a daily basis. I could read and write the Dwarven runes, as plain text, as a kid. Speaking proper Elvish would be a feat in itself though. Oh, we had an elf kid at my school, too. His gear was pretty impressive to be honest. All wool and leather. He would climb onto high places and sit there and keep watch. I'm betting she's a furry artist now raking in the money. Dude, I've never heard of the horse thing though so far. This is the 4th post I've seen about horse girls. I remember one time he wore like 8 Nintendo controllers from his belt, carrying a stack of Dungeons and Dragons books, and a large clay medallion with runes he made. The year after 9/11, he reassured us he had a lot of aluminum foil, plastic wrap, and duct tape in his locker in case a dirty bomb went off in Manhattan. He got bullied a lot but did all right with classmates in honors and AP classes. I was a bit afraid of him but I also didn't want to bully him and we got on fine. He did get suspended in middle school for brandishing a butter knife at a bully during lunch, and junior year he brought a hunting knife, again to brandish at a bully, which led to another. I really don't think he intended to use it. He just wanted to scare this guy off. He's an engineer now, married with a baby. Looks happy and healthy on Facebook. I was glad to see it. He was always nice to me. I dated the weird kid in high school and even a few years after, and the weirdest thing he did was try to date his cousin, while we were together. He also ate grass and him and his friends would talk about the flesh planet. I hated my life back then. Can't believe I couldn't get a date in high school. But flesh planet kid can, pensive face. What the ever-living F is a flesh planet? I'm not sure if it was something they made up or something they found online or what, but it's literally a planet made of flesh. Like everything is fleshy. I don't remember the details like if there was any living organisms on the planet or anything because this was many years ago, but I thought it was the weirdest thing ever how they talked about it like it was a thing. I'm not sure if the planet was supposed to be alive or what, but they talked about it on more than one occasion. It's not really surprising, because they smoked a lot of weed and did psychedelics. If you've ever played the game Binding of Isaac, that's about what I imagine it to be like, but they spoke about it before the game was announced, let alone released. Demos. One girl used to gallop around the playground on her own, pretending she was a horse. This is at too old an age for the rest of us to be doing this, think 14-15. She got a medicine degree and is doing her surgical training at the moment. I bumped into her in a hospital after over a decade. All I could think of to say was, "Do you still love horses?" She laughed and said she had her own horse now. Figures. There was this pair of boys in the year above me in high school who used to make dirt bike noises everywhere they went. Lasted months. You'd randomly hear them coming down the stairs. Bois bois bois. We had a kid at my school that we called Damien Lamborghini. He would rev like a car engine, pull his pants down, and chase the girls. He ended up in the Special Olympic for running. Damien Lamborghini sounds one of Roger's personas from American Dad. Sounds like she's a lot more stable now. She blew her nose into her hand and then licked it while looking me in the eyes. She actually wasn't too weird aside from that. I have no idea WTF it was. I just turned to the noise and saw that. Just a girl shooting her shot. Or snooting her snot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.